On the beautiful campus of Rochester Christian University and inside of Garth Pleasant Arena, this is Warriors basketball on the Rochester Christian Sports Network. Stephen McDonald here saying hello everyone and welcome to our broadcast as the Rochester Christian Warriors host the Knights of Marian University. Both teams come into this matchup here this evening 3-0 on the regular season. Some players to watch from both sides in this one. For the Knights, it's number 0, the guard, Gus Etchison. Comes in averaging 21 points per game in their first 3, averaged 22 points a season ago, appearing in 29 games for the Knights. And talk about scoring balance for Etchison, 21 points in each of those 3 contests so far this season. We'll see if he puts up another 21 here tonight as we're counting you down to tip-off between the Warriors and the Knights here on the RC Sports Network pregame show. On the other side for the Warriors, our player to watch is Tomias Williams. Expect to see him for the 3rd time this season. Missed the exhibition opener against the Oakland Golden Grizzlies and the regular season opener against Lambton, but played in both contests a weekend ago. And in doing so, averaged 15 points per game, shooting at 60% from the floor, and also a respectable 70% at the free throw line on 8 attempts per game. We'll step aside here on the pregame coverage. When we come back, we'll get to the starting lineups and talk about both these head coaches for the respective programs coming up next on the RC Sports Network pregame show. Inside of Garth Pleasant Arena, Warriors just about ready to tip things off with the Knights of Marian. Tip-off coming just a few minutes from now as we count you down to tip-off near the top of the hour. Get to the starting lineups for both teams, starting with the Knights. Gus Etchison, who we talked about earlier on in our pregame coverage, one of the guards. He'll be out there with Dylan Moles, Gavin Foe, Aiden Franks, and Josiah Gustin round out the starting 5 for Pat Knight, who we'll talk about here in just a second. On the other side for the Warriors and head coach Clint Pleasant, he'll run out the same lineup as he has all season. Brody Parker, Brett White, Gunnar Walters the guards, Dustin Farrow on the wing, and James Fisher will do the opening tip here in just a few moments. Mentioned for Marian head coach Pat Knight, in his first season as head coach, is the son of legendary Indiana basketball coach Bob Knight. Pat spent the last 10 seasons as a scout for the Indiana Pacers out on the West Coast. As Marian actually started out this season taking on the Indiana Hoosiers over at Assembly Hall. And on the other side for the Warriors, and head coach Clint Pleasant has some famous bloodlines in the game of basketball as well. Father Garth is the namesake of our arena here on campus. Garth, winning over 700 games in his coaching career, was a 5-time national championship winning coach and 4-time coach of the year as well. So the bloodlines running deep on both benches here tonight. That'll do it for our pregame coverage here on the RC Sports Network. We send it now down to the floor to public address announcer Mark Stowers.
by showing respect to every spectator, athlete, coach, and official involved in today's contest. At this time, we ask that you would please stand. Gentlemen, remove your hats for our pregame prayer. Father in heaven, we ask your blessing on the game we are about to play. Give each one of us the courage to play this game in a manner by which our words and our actions are pleasing to you. Let us enter into this competition in a spirit of sportsmanship with respect for the members of the opposing team. We ask you, Father, to bless each one of us, especially the coaches, officials, parents, and players. Keep us under the protection of your Son, Jesus Christ, and help us be aware of his presence with us in this game tonight. Amen. Please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem. To the starters, first for the Marian Knights, number 0, Gus Etchison. Number 2, Josiah Gustin. Number 3, Dylan Mold. Number 4, Gavin Foe. And number 34.
Opening tip-off between the Warriors and the Knights just moments away here on the RC Sports Network. Stephen McDonald here with you as always. This contest here tonight for the Marian Knights, in their first 8 games of the regular season, will face 5 teams that are currently ranked or receiving votes in the national poll. That started with their exhibition game against the Indiana Hoosiers, who were at the time ranked 17th in the nation. And that will continue here tonight against the Warriors, who are receiving votes in the NAIA national poll. Last time out, they took on Indiana Tech. This is their second of 3 consecutive games for Marian, taking on a Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference team. Took on Indiana Tech, another team receiving votes in the national poll. Obviously have the Warriors here tonight, and then they'll round out that 3-game stretch against the WAC with the Wolverines of Michigan Dearborn. But again, 5 of their first 8 games on the season will come against teams either ranked or receiving votes. So a very tough stretch to open up the Pat Knight era here at Marian. But so far so good as they come out of the gates 3-0. Both teams 3-0 to start the regular season. And actually for Marian, first time this season on the young season at that they've left the state of Indiana as they make the trip up here to the state of Michigan and Rochester Hills to take on the Warriors. And we are set to go. Opening tip is up, and it'll be controlled by the Warriors. Expect some high-scoring action here tonight. Marian comes in 82 points per game on the year. Parker for 3, just comes up short off the front of the iron. Away with it comes Etchison. At the free throw line, they get it over. Now walking the baseline, tosses back outside, still 17 on the possession. Crossover dribble by Etchison. Swing it around the arc for Franks. Gets to the free throw line, stops against Brett White. 3 is on the way. That won't fall, as that looked like Etchison on the three-point try. A season ago, Etchison set several program records for Marian, including the arena record for points in a single game, as well as 3-pointers made in a game. Fisher stops inside, turns, flips, won't go. Outside it goes, Brett White for 2. His miss gets tapped outside. Fisher controls at the logo. And now he'll screen, at least tried to, for Brody Parker. He'll go up and lay it in. That's the first bucket of our ball game. Fisher comes in averaging just a touch under 12 points per game, also 6 rebounds per. Send it down to the baseline, that's too high. Intended receiver was Gavin Foe. Foe appearing in career game number 60 tonight. Averages 18 minutes per contest for his career. So far on the season, though, averages 23 minutes per. And if that can hold the rest of the way, that would be a single season high in terms of minutes played per game. Brody Parker spirals, won't hit. A whistle and a foul, though, with 2 minutes into our game.
Number 3, Dylan Moles, his first, team first.
Foul goes on Dylan Moles, his first, team's first. That'll send Brody Parker to the free throw line. Brody averaging just about 17 points per game so far on the year. He knocks home the first free throw. Also shooting it pretty well from three-point range, 40% on the year so far with 5 attempts per game. He hits both at the line, and the Warriors out to a quick 4-0 lead 2 minutes in. Mentioned Marian can fill it up, 84 points per game on the year so far. Warriors at 82. Walters long 2 and swishes it home. Walters a very strong mid-range shooter, as we saw there. They'll kick it in the corner. Up fake Franks for 3, off the heel. Battle for it on the floor is won and laid in. by Gavin Foe. White from the outside, rims around and out. Pull-up three on the way, that was blocked by Brody Parker. Trying to hold it in was Gavin Foe, and he tossed it away into Rochester Christian's bench. Farrow walked the baseline, dropped it off Fisher, who fills it. Excellent look that time by Dustin Farrow, the freshman. Farrow, averaging 21 minutes a game so far this season, has played in every game as this pass splits through the hands of Dylan Moles and out of bounds. Some early turnovers by Marian. Already their second. Come in averaging 11 per game on the season. Parker goes in, leans back, won't get the shot to fall, and they'll say out of bounds off the leg of Dustin Farrow. Warriors by 4, 16-10 to go in the first half. Gustin gave it up. They'll swing it around the arc. Now Franks hesitates, goes baseline, reverse, doesn't go. Rebound pulled down for Fisher. Walters crosses over, almost lost his footing, but kept the dribble. Drops it on the baseline. That was blocked. And it looks like a whistle and a foul down low. They'll get Josiah Gustin. That'll be his first, team second. Jackson Ames comes in for the Knights. Fisher picks up his dribble, sends it back outside. Brody Parker, looks like his knees just kind of gave out on him there. He's slow to get up, and it does look like he's in some pain as that shot doesn't go for Aiden Franks. White leaning back, baseline good. For our score, down to the baseline, kicks it outside, wide open three, splash. Dylan Moles for three. Comes in averaging just under 12 points per game on the season, also leads the team in minutes played per game at 34. Shows off the range, which he does have, as going back to his high school days in Greenfield, Indiana, scored over 1,400 career points for Greenfield Central. He gets the three, cuts the Warriors' lead down to 3 with 14:43 to go in the first half. We will step aside quickly from Garth Pleasant Arena on your home for Warriors basketball.
The value of champions of character across all institutions is a message that we can all get behind.
The purpose behind Champions of Character is to have that student-athlete experience be one of growth.
Men's basketball on campus, we make sure that we give back with a smile and with a purpose.
Our goal as coaches is for our players to leave being better men, better husbands, better fathers, and better members in their community.
NAIA is Champions of Character.
Welcome back on the RC Sports Network. Warriors lead at 10-7 with 14:43 to go in the first half. Dylan Moles hit the three. that sent us to the timeout. That was his first basket of the night. Gavin Foe leads Marian with 4. James Fisher on the other side has 4 to lead the Warriors. He also has 2 rebounds so far. Both these teams come in scoring a lot of points to start the year, and as such, they shoot it at a high level. Marian comes in shooting at 48% from the floor to Rochester's 46%. They'll go inside looking for Fisher. He'll pivot, drops it off looking for Farrow, had it turned over on the hop by Aiden Franks. Now looking down low, Farrow comes away with it at the other end. Swing it around to Parker for 3, and it's through. Brody Parker, one of a couple former Division I players in this game here today, previously playing a couple of years back for Oakland University. As Farrow back-to-back takeaways, he'll push it up the floor for Fisher, who steps in. It won't go. Got his own miss, leaves it for Parker, who drives in. He crashes to the floor. And the foul is going to go against Marian. And to quickly finish that last thought before the runaway by Fisher, the Knights as well have a couple former Division I athletes on their team, including Etchison, who previously played 2 seasons at Western Michigan. Jackson Ames, who came in before that last time out, previously spent 2 years at Miami, Ohio. And Luke Carroll, who we have not seen just yet as Parker hits the free throw, previously played for Valparaiso. So again, a lot of Division I talent out here on the floor tonight. 13:52 to go in our first half. Warriors by 7. One more coming for Brody at the free throw line. He's got 6. He's 3 out of 3 at the line. His second one drops in as well. That last foul going against Marian, that's the team's 4th. Still haven't gotten a whistle against Rochester Christian yet. Franks sends it straight away. Driving all the way in and turning it back outside was Lovin. 5 to shoot. Extra pass finds Lovin. 2 seconds and 1. Got it. They used every bit of that 30-second shot clock, but they do get the 2 at the tail end of it. Noah Lovin gets the basket, the freshman out of Jeffersonville, Indiana. And it looks like they will get Rochester Christian for a foul here as well. That'll be the team's first. They get Fisher. So Lovin gets the lay-in with about 1 second, if that, on the shot clock, and he'll also step to the line. Free throw halfway down, it pops out for him. Rebound to Farrow. It's Braden Walters, Dylan Moles, Lovin, Ames, and Franks on the floor for the Knights. Parker, Farrow, White, Gunnar Walters, and James Fisher on the floor for Rochester Christian. Farrow picks up the loose ball outside for 3. That's off by Brett White. Franks stops, sends it outside, far side. 3 is on the way and through for Dylan Moles. Second 3 of the day for Dylan Moles. He's 2 out of 3. That shot won't go. Rebound comes down to Braden Walters. Lovin left alone for 3. Can't make the Warriors pay. Another rebound for Fisher. trying to hold it in, they do, and they get the takeaway. Excellent hustle on the far side by Franks. He'll pull up for three, bang! Makes the play at the defensive end, going into his own bench to save that ball out of bounds, and then they reward him for running the floor after the play. White, that's a three, that's no good. Franks the rebound, level at 15, with 11.5 to go in the half. Bounce pass finds Ames. He'll turn on Fisher, leaves the hook shot short. And able to hold it in was Farrow, just able to hold it in on that baseline before his momentum carried him out of bounds. Couple subs getting ready to check in for the Warriors as Walters rises for three and it's through. Walters has not shot it particularly well from three to start the year, only about 26% prior to tonight, but he knocks it down there, and the Warriors get the lead back by three. Here's Moles, leaves it inside, and turning it over was Jackson Ames. Elijah Diallo comes in for the Knights. It'll be Polatoglu and Tamias Williams in for Rochester Christian. Williams was one of our players to watch in our pregame coverage. Played in both games a weekend ago for Rochester Christian as that pass intercepted on the feed by Brody Parker. Moles for three, another three for Dylan Moles. Give the assist to Diallo. Third three for Moles. 12 to shoot for the Warriors. Driving goes White. Tried to go outside to Walters, and he was grabbed and fouled on his way in. That'll be the fifth team foul on the Knights. Still 10:05 to go in the first half. All tied at 18. Parker with it. He's out there with Williams, Walters, Polatoglu, and White. Off the screen, knocks it down. Parker always looks so confident going into a shot like that, just fading back. Also helps that he got that screen from Polatoglu. As Gustin knocks down the deuce. Gustin, a freshman out of Pendleton, Indiana. Walters tries to go bounce past baseline looking for Polatoglu and just bounced it a little too far for him. That'll send us to the media timeout with 9:23 to go in the half. We are square at 20 between the Warriors and the Knights. We'll step aside from Garth Pleasant Arena on the RC Sports Network.
The value of champions character across all institutions is a message that we can all get behind.
The purpose behind Champions of Character is to have that student-athlete experience be one of growth.
Men's basketball on campus, we make sure that we give back with a smile and with a purpose.
Our goal as coaches is for our players to leave being better men, better husbands, better fathers, and better members in their community.
NAIA is Champions of Character.
Dylan Moles and Brody Parker, each with a game-high 9 points to lead their respective teams as we're tied at 20 with 9:23 to go in the first half. If you're just joining us here on the RC Sports Network, Stephen McDonald here with you. Both teams come into this one 3-0 on the season so far, scoring at a high pace. The Warriors averaging 84 points per game in their first three. On the other side, Marian averaging 82. Both teams shoot it at a high clip as well, and they're doing so to start this one. Marian 8 out of 15 from the floor. Warriors 7 out of 18. Marian 4 out of 9 from three-point range, although 3 of those coming from Dylan Moles. Around the arc it goes, going in, underhand reverse. Goes in for Josiah Gustin. Warriors turn it over on the other end. Sixth turnover by the Warriors. They only average about 10 per game, as this one off the hands of Moles turned over to Brody Parker. That ball just hit Moles right in the hands, but took his eyes off it for only a second as they swing it to Williams. Inside it goes for Polatoglu, walling up on him is Lovin. Outside it goes Parker for three. Yes! Brody Parker already with 12. That's his second three of the night. 3 out of 6 from the floor overall. They get it inside for Lovin, who spirals. Long two is off. That was Gustin on the shot try. Walters drives. Fisher will check in on the next stoppage. Turn fire doesn't go for Walters. Behind the back dribble, pulls up, comes up short, not even sure he got rim there. Parker, foot on the gas, gets tripped up and fouled. That'll be the 6th team foul on Marian. That'll be the 2nd on Moles. Fisher does come in, and quickly off the bench and in comes Lucas Brannon, the freshman. So those two are out there with Walters, Williams, and Polatoglu, and this is something we've seen a time or two from the Warriors this season, putting Fisher and Polatoglu out there at the same time. Polatoglu with the lay-in. Not something that we saw necessarily a season ago, but Coach Pleasant trying it out this year with both big men on the floor at the same time. Into the corner it goes. Fisher on the closeout. Pull up two. Jumps off the rim. And James Fisher the rebound. Fisher stops, gave it up to Williams, but in the process, he runs over Diallo. That'll be the 2nd on Fisher. He has the only 2 fouls for the Warriors so far, as the Warriors lead it 25-22. 7 minutes exactly to go in the first half. Give it up to Etchison. Haven't called his name much just yet. Etchison only attempting 1 field goal so far. And he is the scorer for Marian as they have 7 to shoot. They give it up to him at the logo. He'll go in through a crowd, tosses back outside with 2 to shoot. Logo 3 is off the heel. Long rebound comes out. Braden Walters corralled it over there in the far corner. Tomias Williams with the foul. That'll be his first, team's 3rd. Lucas Brannon charged with defending Gus Etchison. Lovin turns the corner and an offensive foul on the screen. Looks like they'll get Braden Walters for his first, but that'll be the team's 7th. So the Warriors will be in the bonus for the final 6:17. So they will shoot free throws on the next foul. Polatoglu gets it to Williams. He turns inside but traveled. A sloppier first half by Rochester Christian, already their 7th turnover in this one. Again, a team averaging just about 10 per contest this year. Even going back to last year, only turned it over about 10 times per game. And with just inside of 6 minutes to go in the half, could see them hit double digits here in the first. 3 is too strong by Etchison as he starts out the night 0 for 2. Straight away, Williams wants the 3. That ball was slapped away from Polatoglu. Brannon tried to go inside looking for Polatoglu, and they'll say that will stay at this end. Brody Parker comes back in for Polatoglu. So now Fisher and Polatoglu both on the bench. It'll be Walters, Parker, Brannon, Williams, and Farrow. For Marian, it's Etchison, Walters, Gustin, Lovin, and Diallo, the 5 out there. Walters gonna back it out. Still 10 to shoot for the Warriors. He'll cross over, step back on Lovin. Long 2 doesn't go for him that time. Good job defensively there as well by Lovin. Reach in and a foul. First foul on Lucas Brannon. That'll be the team's 4th. Etchison for 2. That doesn't go for him either. Diallo pushes his way in, goes up, doesn't get the shot, but does draw the whistle. Alaj Diallo will be at the free throw line. Redshirt freshman out of Brownsburg, Indiana. Averages 11 points per game so far on the year. Has one more at the free throw line. Knocks down both. For Diallo, those are his first 2 scratches in the scorer's column tonight. White goes in. Was working against Lovin. Send it over to Myas Williams. Backs his way in, turns, comes up short. Etchison on the run, goes down the lane, won't get the shot, but does get the foul against Gunnar Walters. And if you're the Warriors with 4:35 to go in the first half, as that's the 6th team foul on the Warriors, but if you're Rochester Christian with 4.5 to go in the half, if you would tell Coach Pleasant that Gus Etchison held to 0 points to this point in the game and has missed his first 3 shot attempts, I think the Warriors would certainly take that, as he averages 21 per contest. And again, going back to last season, averaged 22 per game over 29 games, and also set several program records a season ago. Scored the 3rd most points in a single season, set the arena record for single game scoring and threes made in a game, did Etchison. Warriors lead it 25-24 with 4:35 to go in our first half. Brody Parker leads all scorers with 12. He's 2 out of 3 from 3-point range, has also knocked down all 4 of his free throws. Dylan Moles on the other side has a Marian high 9 points on 3 of 5 shooting. He's knocked down 3 out of his 4 threes. And so far this game, from a scoring perspective, has been what we expect. Marian shooting at almost 41% from the floor to Rochester Christian's 37.5%. But turnovers have been somewhat of an issue for the Warriors so far. They already have 7. Marian with 6 of their own. Etchison gets his first tally at the free throw line. That ties us up at 25. He'll have one more coming. And it spins out on him. Rebound to Farrow. Here's Parker. Thought about the 3, instead a little give and go with Farrow, but they turn it over. Etchison puts his head down, gets to the rim, and gets the roll. And now all of a sudden, 3 quick points by Etchison. Puts his team in the lead by 2. Parker wants a 3. That runs out. Tapped and controlled by Tomias Williams. Send it far side of the floor. White for 3. Got it. He needed some help from the rim on that one, but it counts for 3 all the same. Warriors get the lead back by 1 with 3:49 to go in the first half. And it looks like we'll get a timeout called on the floor. We will take the timeout, too, from Garth Pleasant Arena on your home for Warriors basketball. Hit the 3 that sent us to the timeout on the floor. 3:49 to go in the first half. Warriors by 1. First game of 4 on the weekend here from Garth Pleasant Arena as Williams gets up for the rejection. Brody Parker bobbled it. He'll go up for 2 and puts it in. And going back to the block by Williams, Warriors fans remember the last time we were here last Saturday, Williams had the game-sealing block at the other end of the floor with 8 seconds to go in what was a 2-point game at that time. The Warriors would hit a couple free throws to seal the win. Etchison crossed over Parker, who went down to the floor. Etchison couldn't hit the shot, though. Warriors by 3 with the ball. Floater comes up short. Walters got his own miss. He'll send it outside to a wide open Parker for 3. Gimme that! Brody Parker continues to have a first half, and that'll be a timeout called by Pat Knight and the Knights. Parker has 17. He's 3 of 5 from downtown, and the Warriors lead is 6 with 2:44 to go in the first half. We will stick with it here on the floor. Warriors now 5 out of 11 from 3-point range. Brody Parker has 3 of those 5. Brett White knocked one down just a minute ago. Gunnar Walters has the other 3 by Rochester Christian. Warriors have shot it pretty well from 3 to start the year. Just under 37% as a team, and again 45% here in this first half. Stephen McDonald here with you on the RC Sports Network. Quick timeout called by Marian and first-year head coach Pat Knight. Moles turns in the painted area, sent it outside. Whistling a foul against the Warriors. Looks like they'll get Walters. That'll be the second on Gunnar Walters. Team 7th, so both teams will play out this half in the bonus. Warriors have been in the bonus for a little while. Dylan Moles has a chance to cut into this 6-point deficit. Has had a solid first half, 9 points on 3 of 5 shooting. He hits the free throw. Puts him in double figures. Brody Parker, the only other player in double figures in our game so far. And he'll add one more at the line, gives him 11. Those were the first 2 free throws of the night for Dylan Moles. That pass tipped and stolen going into the scorer's table. That was Lovin. Farrow able to get it back for the Warriors. Parker for 2. Yes! Cannot be stopped. Brody Parker now with 19 on 6 out of 10 shooting. And he had a big first half last Saturday as well, so picking up right where he left off a weekend ago. One-handed rebound picked out by Moles. He'll send it this way, Lovin. That's off the back. Rebound to Parker. He'll just jog it over midcourt. Minute 37 to go in the first half. His shot doesn't go. Diallo with the board. 35-29. Lovin with the basketball. Send it this way for Diallo. He drives on White. Looked like that was deflected by Polatoglu, and this time gets the hand on it. Another block for the Warriors. That'll be their second. Williams had one earlier this half. Final minute of this first half sends it far side of the floor for White. Looking inside for Brett White. Got knocked down to the floor. No call as Marian comes away with the basketball. Pull up 2 goes in for Dylan Moles. And now it's a 4-point game in the closing seconds of our first half. 32 seconds and counting. There's about a 9-second difference between clocks. Warriors will have to do something with this possession. 9 to shoot, 18 to go in the half. Williams has 3 to shoot, and that pass is intercepted looking for Polatoglu. Lovin on the go, reaching and a foul with 6.6 to go in the half. They'll get Brody Parker. That looks to be just his first. Lovin will go to the line. Missed on his only free throw earlier this half and doesn't have better luck this time. Couple freshmen come in for the Warriors. It's Brannon and Gould. .6 seconds to go in the first half as the second free throw does go. Parker puts his head down, gets all the way in, throws up a shot, doesn't go. And a final heave at the buzzer is well offline, and that brings us to the end of the first half. The Warriors lead it at the break, 35-32. Some stats from that first 20 minutes of play before we send you to the break. Brody Parker with a game-high 19 so far, also adding 3 rebounds and 3 assists. Picked up a foul there in the final seconds of the half, but that was just his first. On the other side, Dylan Moles with 13 to lead Marian on 4 of 6 shooting and going 3 of 4 from the outside. Warriors shoot at 40% as a team in that first half, 45% from 3. And they hit all 4 of their free throws in that first 20 minutes. Turnovers were a problem for Rochester Christian, though, in that first half of play, as they turned it over 11 times. That's already over their season average, which is 10. But one thing that they do well is they share the basketball. 8 assists on 13 field goals in that first half of play. But again, they hold just the 3-point lead at the break, 35-32. We send you to the halftime break from Garth Pleasant Arena on your home for Warriors basketball. at the half between the Rochester Christian Warriors and the Knights of Marian. 35-32 is our halftime score. Stephen McDonald here with you on the RC Sports Network. Brody Parker has a game-high 19, while Dylan Moles has poured in 13 points to lead the Knights. And it's always fun here inside of Garth Pleasant Arena to take a look out in the crowd when we have a chance and see some fellow Warriors athletes in attendance. The women's volleyball team, several members of the team in attendance in the student section just below us to our left. Also just saw head coach Juliana Nash pass by as well. Warriors shot at 40% in that first half of play, 45% from three-point range. A big part of how they got this just slim three-point lead. Another big story from that first 20 minutes of play was Gus Etchison, the leading scorer for the Knights, just 1 out of 6 from the floor in that first half, scoring just 3 points. Game 1 of 4 on the weekend here from Garth Pleasant Arena. Mount Vernon Nazarene and Michigan Dearborn will be the game that follows this one later on tonight. That game should tip off just about 30 minutes or so after this game concludes. The Warriors will get Mount Vernon Nazarene here tomorrow. That game, a 1 o'clock Eastern start. Again, first game of the day tomorrow. We'll have that for you right here on the RC Sports Network with yours truly on the call. Both teams have made their way back out on the floor as we're just a few moments away from getting this second half started. Marian in that first 20 minutes of play shot at 36.7% from the floor, just 33% from three-point range, but did go 6 out of 9 at the free throw line. Currently winning the turnover battle by 4, 7 to Rochester Christian's 11. But the Warriors have a solid edge in rebounding so far, plus 8 in total rebounds. Warriors compiling 9 assists in that first half on 13 field goals. A team that comes in averaging just about 12 assists per game this season. Looks like they're well on their way to hitting that mark here tonight. Brody Parker mentioned he has those 19 points, but he also has 3 of his team's 9 assists as well. Gunnar Walters has 2 of those, but of course that's to be expected from Gunnar Walters. Walters, in fact, has led the team in assists in all 4 games this season. That includes the exhibition matchup with the Oakland Golden Grizzlies. Second half on tap here in just a moment from Garth Pleasant Arena. Warriors lead it at the half, 35-32. We'll come back with the start of the second half on the RC Sports Network.
What I've learned the most from golf is to have integrity in everything you say and do.
One of the biggest lessons of that sports impacts my daily life is discipline.
Be a champion of character, it just means to realize first that you're a part of something that's bigger than yourself.
Being a part of NAIA is something that I'm going to keep with me forever because it's not only made me a better athlete, but it's made me a better person.
The NAIA really just cares about their student athletes and just the experience in general at the school. And I think that's really important.
The NAIA stands for, has great core values. One that's most important to me is servant leadership. Being able to serve your community is a huge reason why I chose NAIA.
I am a champion of character. I am a champion of character.
I am a champion of character.
I am a champion of character.
I am a champion of character.
Stephen McDonald welcoming you back into Garth Pleasant Arena from wherever you're watching here on the RC Sports Network, whether you're a Warrior or a Knight. Warriors have the lead after one half, 35-32. Marian will get us started to begin our second half. Here's Etchison, had just 3 points in that first half. All came in the final, 2 or 3 minutes or so. Floated to the far corner. Send it back to that same corner, far side of the floor. 2 is up and off by Aiden Franks. Franks just 3 points in that first half, 1 of 5 shooting. Brett White's going to drive baseline and draw the foul. The Warriors were aggressive back in the first half on the offensive end of the floor, forced Marian into some early foul trouble. White at the free throw line. Couple hops off the rim and it does fall. First free throw attempts for Brett White. Second one comes up short. Foe gave it up to Moles. Looks like they want to get it to Etchison. They do. Gets some separation and knocks down the three. We'll see if that gets Gus Etchison going. Parker, free throw line jump shot, knocks it down. Parker got worked off of Etchison on that screen at this end of the floor. That set him up for the three-point try. And then Brody comes back at the other end, gets separation himself, and knocks down the two. Shot doesn't go, rebound comes down to White. Walters will settle it down in the front court. Here's Brody Parker. Send it this side to Brett White with 10 to shoot. He'll go in and draws the foul again with 5 to shoot. Brett White gets bailed out a bit there by the whistle. Tried to work off the screen by Gunnar Walters, but then Walters kind of stepped back into the path of Brett White. So there was a lot of traffic there for 10 to work through. Second trip for him to the line, comes up on the first one off. Sinks the second. Brett White going 1 out of 2 at his first 2 trips to the free throw line. He's got 7, leaning back and making it look easy. That's Etchison again. And now all of a sudden Etchison up to 7. Farrell wants a 3, got the 3. First bucket by Farrow on his first shot attempt. Give the assist to Brett White. And then Marian stepping on the baseline out of bounds will go the other way. That's now 11 assists on 15 field goals for the Warriors. This team has such great chemistry at this end of the floor as White turns, leans back, doesn't go. Rebound on one hop for Fisher. That doesn't go either. And a whistle and a foul on Gavin Foe. That'll be the third on him and the team's third already in this second half. We're just over 2.5 minutes in. Walters wanted to toss it in the direction of Farrow, had it tipped and picked, and then the lay-in at the other end is good by Aiden Franks. Walters picks up the dribble, bounce pass for Farrow, who had it blocked. Couple players were there in blue, including Luke Carroll and Gus Etchison. Not sure which one got the hand on it. As Etchison drives, kicks it into the corner, gets it right back from Luke Carroll. He'll settle it down now with 13 to shoot. Doesn't go for him this time. A little bit unbalanced that time by Gus Etchison. Whistle and the foul with 16:41. They'll get Luke Carroll for his first, team's fourth. And again, similar to the first half, the fouls already piling up on Marian. That's their fourth. And we're only about 3.5 minutes in to our second half. Swing it around the arc to Brett White. He wants to go down low for Fisher and does. Backing his way in, turns, and doesn't get the shot to fall. Gavin Foe the rebound. Foe playing in career game number 60 today. Spinning, scooping, doesn't go for Etchison. He's down behind the play. Up the floor goes to Fisher for the slam. Warriors had the 5-on-4 advantage as Etchison was slow to get up behind the play. We're 4 minutes in to our second half. The Warriors lead it 44-38. There's a timeout on the floor as we just hit the under 16 media timeout. We will take the timeout too. This is the RC Sports Network.
What I've learned the most from golf is to have integrity in everything you say and do.
One of the biggest lessons of that sports impacts my daily life is discipline.
Be a champion of character, it just means to realize first that you're a part of something that's bigger than yourself.
Being a part of NAIA is something that I'm going to keep with me forever because it's not only made me a better athlete, but it's made me a better person.
The NAIA really just cares about their student athletes and just the experience in general at the school, and I think that's really important.
The NAIA stands for, has great core values. One that's most important to me is servant leadership. Being able to serve your community is a huge reason why I chose the NAIA.
I am a champion of character. I am a champion of character.
I am a champion of character.
I am a champion of character.
I am a champion of character.
44-38 is our score. Just a tick under 16 minutes to play in the contest between the Rochester Christian Warriors and the Knights of Marian. Stephen McDonald here with you on the RC Sports Network. Toss in goes to Etchison. After a slow start, he's got 7, but just 3 out of 10 shooting. Foe steps inside the arc, pulls up for 2. Rebound comes down to Brody Parker. That'll be rebound number 4 for him. He's going to charge in, sends it outside to Walters. Still plenty of shot clock to work with. Dump it inside looking for Fisher. He'll hook, won't get it to go. That was contested by Luke Carroll. To the near side for Franks. He'll go in against Fisher. Left it short, then picks the pocket of Brett White. He'll step into a 3, got it. Franks with the 3, that's just his second field goal of the night. He's got 5. Cuts it down to just a 3-point lead. Walters wants the 2. Off the heel. Off and running is Etchison. He'll go up against Brody Parker. The follow-up tip doesn't go either. It's in deep, and that does go for Gavin Foe. 44-43 in a matchup of two high-scoring offenses. That pass down low in the direction of Farrow turned over out of bounds. That'll send us to a timeout on the floor. 14-17 to go in the game. Warriors now holding on to just a 1-point edge. We will step aside here briefly on the Rochester Christian Sports Network. To go in the game between the Rochester Christian Warriors and the Marian Knights. Game 1 of 4 on the weekend in this JBA Classic featuring the Warriors, the Knights, and the two teams that will play about 30 minutes after this one wraps up. Michigan Dearborn makes the trip out to Rochester Hills. And Mount Vernon Nazarene, the fourth team represented here this weekend. Warriors will get a look at Mount Vernon Nazarene tomorrow at 1 Eastern. We'll have that for you here on the RC Sports Network as Etchison, left alone, pulls up for 3. That doesn't go. Warriors catch a break as Williams tried to switch off of him, but nobody was there to pick him up. The pregame coverage for that game tomorrow at 1 Eastern will start at about 12:50, as traveling with it before he put it on the deck was Gus Etchison. Coach Pleasant will swap the big men. Out goes Fisher, in comes Polatoglu. Polatoglu's out there with Walters, Williams, Parker, and White. Drops it inside looking for Polatoglu. Had it swatted. Second try doesn't go either. Foe tried to work his way inside, stepped back, and now leaning back with it is Carroll. Foul's going to go against Carroll. That's his second, team's 5th. Warriors on the other side have 2. 13.5 to go in the game. Tomias Williams gives it up to Walters. steps back, goes far corner. White wants the three, rattles out. White now just 1 out of 5 from three-point range tonight. That lay-in try by Etchison doesn't go. Looks like he wanted a call there, doesn't get it. He was palms up on his way back down the floor. Parker turn and gun for 2. That's out of bounds and will go the other way. Brody Parker has 21. That's a game-high 21. 7 out of 14 from the floor. 3 of 5 from three-point range. Mentioned earlier on in our broadcast, Parker has shot it well from 3 this season, as that's rejected by Brett White. Brett White just caught that block about as clean as you could get it. You could hear the smack from way up here. The ball stays at this end with Marian driving, and getting it blocked is Etchison. Williams for the second time tonight, and the second time on this possession, the Warriors knocking the ball away. Corner pocket 3 runs off the rim. And this ball goes leaking out of bounds right in front of us. Crimson Crazies just off to our left, letting Gus Etchison hear it a bit before that ball came back into play. 10 to shoot for the Knights. It's in the hands of Aiden Franks. Now 5 to shoot for Etchison. He crosses over on Parker for 3. Tracking it in the corner, able to hold it in. Etchison runs underneath it. Franks thought about the 3. Instead moves it along for Moles. He'll spiral, turn, and hit. And just like that, Marian, with a plethora of opportunities on that last series, finally gets one to go, and they take the 45-44 lead. Here's White, goes in, lost the handle on his way in. That was taken away by Luke Carroll. Reverse layup goes. The 2 for Aiden Franks. He's in double figures with 10. That floater by Brett White will count. So give him 2 and a chance to tie at the line. He's 2 out of 4 at the line so far. Give the assist there to Brody Parker. This free throw would give him 10, and does, and we're level at 47. Elaj Diallo checks in after the free throw make by Brett White. All square at 47, still 10:55 to go in the game. Carroll gets to the middle, floats against Williams. Polatoglu gets the rebound and caught it in the face on the way down. Foul goes against Carroll. That'll be his 4th and the team's 7th. And once again, pretty much right where we were back in the first half, the Warriors now in the bonus, and as such will shoot free throws from here on out. One and one for Stavros Polatoglu. First free throw attempt for him tonight. Goes up with it and splashes it in. That breaks our tie. And of course, he'll now have one more coming. Just 3 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist for Polatoglu tonight make it 4 points as he sinks both and gives the Warriors a 2-point edge. Brody Parker with 21, Brett White with 10, James Fisher the next closest with 6 and 6 rebounds. Franks wants a 3, that's not going to go. Rebound to Walters. Rebound number 4 for him. He'll go in, underhand flip as he goes down to the floor. Polatoglu trying to find it on the floor. And that pass nearly intercepted by Tamias Williams. Might have had a clear runway had he come up with it. Clock stops with 10:15 to go. Warriors by 2 and in the bonus. And they have held this man, Gus Etchison, in check. 3 out of 15 from the floor, has 7 points. Diallo flips it outside to him. 3 was up and 2 strong. Going down to the floor for it was Brody Parker. And looks like he got tied up and fouled by Diallo. Check that, they call it on Lovin. With 9:58 to go in the basketball game, the Warriors lead it by 2. We'll take a quick timeout from Garth Pleasant Arena on the RC Sports Network.
What I've learned the most from golf is to have integrity in everything you say and do.
One of the biggest lessons of that sports impacts my daily life is discipline.
Be a champion of character, it just means to realize first that you're a part of something that's bigger than yourself.
Being a part of NAIA is something that I'm going to keep with me forever because it's not only made me a better athlete, but it's made me a better person.
The NAIA really just cares about their student athletes and just the experience in general at the school, and I think that's really important.
The NAIA stands for, has great core values. One that's most important to me is servant leadership. Being able to serve your community is a huge reason why I chose the NAIA.
I am a champion of character.
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 Warriors lead it by 2, 49-47. Still 9:58 to go in the game, and because they are in the bonus, the second foul on Noah Lovin should mean free throws for Rochester Christian out of the timeout. It will be a 1-and-1 for Brody Parker. Hasn't missed just yet. He's 4 out of 4 at the line. And he gets the first. Warriors as a team shoot it well from the free throw line. 79% coming into play tonight as Parker goes up with the second and gets that one as well. 4-point lead. And the Warriors once again shooting it over 80% from the free throw line. They've done that on multiple occasions already this season, including their exhibition with Oakland where they shot at 83% at the line. They'll get Brody Parker for his third. That's just the team's third. Williams and Polatoglu will sit down. Fisher comes back in. Etchison leans in, floats, and hits. Give him 9 on the night. But the Warriors have done their best to tame him. Free throw line for Fisher. Gives it off to Brett White. Fading back goes Parker. Offensive board, Fisher goes back up, no. fighting for his miss. It was picked off the floor by Franks. Underhand flip came from Lovin. Drops it off, cutting baseline, send it back outside. Etchison walks in. Diallo for three. Rebound Fisher. That'll be rebound number 7 for Fisher. He'll screen for Walters. Send it this way. Corner 3 for Farrow. Eight and a half to go in the basketball game. 51-49. Etchison goes in. Went up and over James Fisher. Got it back and scores it. That's 9 for Etchison, but again, not a very efficient night for Gus Etchison. But in any case, he'll level us at 51. Warriors come up empty at their end. Brody Parker got a hand on this, and then Lovin collides with Farrow. Then Farrow has to reach in and foul on Aiden Franks. That's just the first on Farrow, team's 4th. Farrow had to foul there to avoid the easy lay-in. Aiden Franks will step to the free throw line for the first time tonight. Looks like Tamias Williams waiting to check in at the scorer's table. They'll send him in. Looks like he'll come in for Fisher. So it'll be Williams, White, Farrow, Brody Parker, and Gunnar Walters out there. First free throw is good by Aiden Franks. One more for him as he breaks our tie, and he gets both. That one pinballed around and fell. 2-point lead now for Marian. Warriors, though, in the bonus, as they've been for about the last 3 minutes of action. We've got 7:40 to go in the game. Leaning back and scoring, Tamias Williams. .53 all. Franks. Right-handed floater doesn't go. That was held in by Farrow. Leave it to Williams. Lay in good. Counted in a foul. Heck of a time for Tamias Williams to hit his first shot. Has a chance to tack on with the free throw. And does. 3-point play for Tamias Williams gives the Warriors the 3-point lead. Off and running is Diallo, 3-on-1 the other direction, gets fouled by Walters. It'll be a baseline inbound, throw it all the way outside for Diallo, and he'll let this go as it was an over and back. update on Tomias Williams, my apologies. He's up to 5 points now, also 4 rebounds. That layup a moment ago, just his second make of the night, just 2 out of 4. White for 3, just a touch too strong off the back end. So Brody Parker has 23, Brett White has 10. James Fisher has 6 points and 8 rebounds. On the other side, Dylan Moles has 15. Aiden Franks 12 points, and Gus Etchison, despite a bit of an off night for him, 5 out of 19 shooting, does have 11 points. Warriors still lead it by 3, 6:23 to go in the basketball game. They get it in the hands of Etchison. His next shot attempt will be his 20th. Lost it, picked it back up. 3 on the way is through by Diallo. Coach Pleasant not happy, thought that Etchison traveled with it, trying to step through on his defender. There was no call as he found Diallo for 3. We're tied at 56. White gonna try again for 3, off the mark again. Hasn't been Brett White's night, but still has 10 points and 6 rebounds, also 2 assists as well. And if that's what you call an off night for Brett White, I think he'll take that. Ball will stay here as Farrow tried to save it, but his toes were on the line. 5:34 to go in the basketball game. Etchison scores, gives Marian the 2-point lead, and gives Etchison 13 for the night. That shot attempt, his 20th of the night. Williams gets the offensive board. He'll go outside for Walters. 13 on the new shot clock as it was reset down to 20. He'll go in, count it. Just the first on Etchison. Basket counts for Walters. He'll get 1 on the other side of this timeout. There's 5 minutes even to go in the game. Tied at 58, but again, Walters will have a chance to break the tie out of the timeout here in just a moment. Both these teams will be back in action tomorrow afternoon, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern, as the Warriors will take on Mount Vernon Nazarene. Pre-game coverage will start right here on the RC Sports Network at 12:50, and then just about a half hour after that one ends, around 3 o'clock Eastern, it'll be Marian taking on Michigan Dearborn. While we have a break in the action, both teams have cooled off a bit in terms of shooting percentage. Warriors shot at 40% at the break. They're down to 35% for the game. Marian shooting at 34% on their end. Rochester Christian suffering 17 turnovers. Very uncharacteristic of a team that averages 10 coming into play today, and mentioned it back in our first half, they averaged only about 10 per game all of last season as well, so 17 is rather high for Coach Pleasant. Walters at the line, knocks down the free throw. That completes the 3-point play and gives the Warriors back the lead. Inside of 5 minutes to go, they'll go to the logo for Etchison. He's really come alive since the final 3 minutes or so of the first half. His shot was contested and does not go. Send it far corner for White. steps back for three. Yes, sir! Brett White had missed his previous 2 threes from this wing. He goes opposite side with it and knocks it down. Looks like they're saying it was a long 2 by Brett White. On the other end, it is a 3 for Marian. So after all that, we're tied back up at 61. But still keep an eye for the final 4:06. Warriors do have the bonus the rest of the way. They've had that since about the 10:50 mark of the half. They get Gunnar Walters for his 4th and team 7th. So now both teams in the bonus as Etchison hits the free throw. He'll have another one coming. And he knocks it down. So he gets both at the line, 63-61. James Fisher is looking to check in. It was a technical foul against Gunnar Walters. Coach Pleasant not happy. Etchison hit the 2 free throws to give his team the 2-point lead. It'll be Warriors basketball after all of that. It's Parker, Farrow, Williams, White, and Fisher out on the floor. Parker's going to step back against Franks, has 10 to shoot. And what do we have here? Looks like they'll get Etchison. They get him for the hold, his 2nd, and that'll mean free throws for Dustin Farrow. Warriors 13 out of 15 at the line today. Farrow's first is good. First free throws for Dustin Farrow, and these are big ones with 3:47 to go. His second one is up and through as well, and that levels us once more at 63. Warriors now 15 out of 17 at the line. Drops it off inside, lay-in good by Josiah Gustin. Outside to Farrow. Wants somewhere to go with it. Gets it to Parker. Brody Parker has been fabulous in this one. 23 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. Here comes White down the lane. Throws it up, no, but draws the foul. And again, this will be big for the Warriors these final few minutes. Get downhill, attack the rim, draw a foul, and go to the free throw line. White did just that, and he knocks down the first free throw. And if memory serves, going back to last Saturday, Warriors shot 31 free throws in the win that day. White sinks the second. We're tied at 65. That was free throws number 19, and I believe 20 as well. Check that, just 19. They're 7 out of 19. But still hovering around 90% as Brody Parker strips it. He's on the run. He'll go in and score it. Brody Parker the steal, Brody Parker the lay-in. The Warriors get the lead back by 2 with 2:37 to go. Franks wants a 3, that's going to jump off the rim, and Williams saves it out of bounds. Here we go for the final 2:20 of our basketball game. Brody Parker has it. Goes up for three, had it blocked. Away with it comes Lovin. And they will settle it with Etchison. Long three on the way. Tried to go after his own miss. Caught a body from Tamias Williams. And we're inside of 2 to play. Warriors by 2 with the basketball. Both teams in the bonus. As Williams gets it, goes outside. White for three. Halfway down, it's spun out. Rebound comes down to Gustin. Would have sent this place into a frenzy had he knocked it down, but Gustin will hang on to it. 90 seconds to go in the game, 15 to shoot for Marian. Lovin against Williams, picks up the dribble. 5 to shoot. Lovin sees it, he'll drive on Fisher. Fisher walls up and gets the stop. And we'll get a timeout called by the Warriors with 1:08 to go. They have the lead by 2. They're in the bonus. And we will take a quick timeout to catch our breath, come back with the final 1:08 from Garth Pleasant Arena on your home for Warriors basketball.
The value of champions character across all institutions is a message that we can all get behind.
The purpose behind Champions of Character is to have that student-athlete experience be one of growth.
Men's basketball on campus, we make sure that we give back with a smile and with a purpose.
Our goal as coaches is for our players to leave being better men, better husbands, better fathers, and better members in their community.
NAIA is Champions of Character.
Warriors by 2 with 1:08 to go. They have the basketball and they are in the bonus, and it feels fitting at this moment to mention the Warriors dating back to the start of last season, 16-3 on their home floor. If you exclude the exhibition game against the Oakland Golden Grizzlies to start this season, that's good for 84% on this floor. Williams turns, hooks, and hits. Big time shot out of the timeout called by Coach Pleasant. Down to the baseline goes Etchison, nearly turned over. Turning and scoring goes Lovin. 40 seconds and counting. Brody Parker in no hurry to get it across midcourt. About a 11-second difference between clocks. So if Marian can get a stop here, they will have time to get it down floor, and they would only need a 2 to tie. Williams with 5 to shoot, works his way on Diallo, turns, it does not go. And what are we gonna get here? A whistle with 10.4 to go. It looks like the call is going to go against the Warriors. And that will be a foul on Dustin Farrow with 10.4 to go. That'll send Etchison to the free throw line and a chance to tie the game. Etchison, 15 points. He knocks down the first. And again, it was a slow start to the night for Gus Etchison, but still able to find his way into the scorers column. 6 out of 22 from the floor tonight as he knocks down both free throws, and we're tied at 69 with 10.4 seconds to go. Timeout on the floor. We will take the timeout too. 10.4 seconds to go. Level at 69. Timeout on the floor. It'll be Warriors basketball after the 2 free throws by Gus Etchison. The free throws by Etchison gives him 17, also has 3 rebounds and 3 assists. He's 5 out of 6 at the free throw line tonight, but no 2 bigger than the ones he just hit to tie the score. Brody Parker has a game-high 25, and you'd imagine this is likely where the ball will go. Brett White also has 14, and Gunnar Walters has 8 for the Warriors. Walters with 8 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. 10.4 seconds to go. Brett White will trigger it on the inbound. The Warriors with a chance to win it right here. Brody Parker lost it, got it back, throws it up, no, and we will go to overtime, tied at 69. Brody Parker had a chance to end it, but lost it on his way in. Dustin Farrow was there for a possible putback attempt, but couldn't get it off in time. So 40 minutes, not enough. Between Marian and Rochester Christian, we'll play 5 more here in just a moment. It was 35-32 at the break. Warriors had the lead. Marian comes back in the second half, 37-34. And that is where we stand entering our new 5 minutes of action. Etchison 17, Dylan Moles with 15, Aiden Franks with 12, the 3 Knights in double figures. Mentioned Brody Parker with the game-high 25, also has 6 rebounds and 4 assists. It's been a well-rounded game for number 5 in the white. And a reminder once again that our second game of the night will tip off not too long after this one wraps up, but again, we do have 5 more minutes left to play now with this overtime session. But that later game on tonight will be Michigan Dearborn taking on Mount Vernon Nazarene. Fisher will jump it up with Gustin. The ball is up, and here we go. Overtime inside of Garth Pleasant Arena, 69 all, as the Warriors will start us out in the extra period. Here's Brody Parker slicing through the middle. Layup does not go. Held in by Aiden Franks. Warriors come up empty on their first possession of overtime. They'll settle it with Etchison. Lovin going to work on Gunnar Walters. Baseline it goes. Diallo outside with 10 to shoot. Etchison floating, comes up short. Brody Parker was there to contest, and he comes away with it off the floor. Both teams come up with nothing on their first try. Walters sends it outside. Williams all day for 3. Too strong. Etchison the rebound. That'll be number 4 for Etchison. Already over a minute gone in this overtime. Nothing doing so far. Frank stops at the baseline, outside for Diallo. 10 to shoot, 3 and 40 to go in the overtime. Diallo for 3, yes! First tally of the overtime goes to Marian. It's a 3-pointer by Diallo. Williams backing his way in, goes up, does not go. Approaching 3 minutes to play in overtime. Knights with the 3-point lead. Diallo fades back, doesn't go for him this time, and a bump and a foul is going to go on James Fisher. That'll be the 4th on Fisher. To the line goes Gustin. Gustin 6 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists in this one. Has a chance to put his team up 2 possessions with 2:59 remaining. Goes up with the first and knocks it down.
Checking in for the Warriors, number 8, Dustin Farrow.
Dustin Farrow will come in for the Warriors. He'll replace Williams. It's Brody Parker, Dustin Farrow, Brett White, Gunnar Walters, and James Fisher out there. Gustin at the free throw line. He's got Etchison, Lovin, Diallo, and Franks out there with him as he sinks both. And now it's a 5-point differential for Marian. Lob it up for Fisher, lay-in goes. Saw Fisher throw down a lob here last Saturday. Instead goes with the nice finish off the window this time. 3-point game with 2.5 to go. Stopping and sending it over to Diallo. Diallo too strong, offensive rebound, Gustin. Zip it this way for Franks, had it picked off. Parker floats it and score it, Brett White. And just like that, it's a 1-point ball game again. The alley-oop lay-in for Fisher, and then the trailer for Brett White, 74-73. 2 minutes to go in the basketball game. Etchison dumps it inside for Gustin. He goes off glass, no, and a foul is called. Gustin will go back to the free throw line here. Foul goes on White, just his second. Gustin back to the free throw line. Doesn't get the first. Hit both of them a minute ago. Those were his first 2 free throws of the night. Missed on his 3rd try, has a 4th one upcoming. Bends the knees up with the second and good. But the Warriors will take that, trailing by just 2 now. Minute 45 to go in the game. Walters has it. He's got 8 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, working on Etchison. Pivoting, White turns, and it doesn't go. What are we going to get underneath? Looks like a whistle and a foul on Marian. Foul's going to go on Lovin, his 4th. That'll mean free throws for Brett White. White can tie us up at the free throw line, 75-73. White 5 out of 7 at the free throw line tonight. Hits the first. That'll give him 17. Also has 6 rebounds and 2 assists. Takes a deep breath as he eyes this second and fills that one as well. And we are back to square one, tied at 75 with a minute and a half to go in the ball game. Lovin moves it over to Etchison. He's got Fisher on him along with Parker. Into the corner it goes. Going baseline, but traveling with it was Lovin. A tough sequence for Noah Lovin. Gets called for the foul at the defensive end. Brett White sinks the free throws to tie us up. and then at the offensive end gets called for the travel over in the corner, and that'll send us to a timeout called with 1:19 to go, all tied at 75. All tied at 75 between the Warriors and the Knights. 1:19 to go in this first overtime session. Brett White tied us at 75 just a moment ago with 2 free throws on the foul by Noah Lovin. The Warriors have a chance to now take the lead late in this overtime. Fisher comes to screen. Walters rocks the dribble. White for 2, yes! 4 quick points for Brett White. That was a long 2. His toe was just a touch inside the arc. Now Parker rips it away, and trying to fight for it back was Etchison. He gets tagged with the foul. That will send the Warriors back down this way to the free throw line. Brody Parker gets dapped up on his way down the floor as he just ripped that ball away from Gus Etchison. 51 seconds to go in the game. Brody Parker to the line, where he is 6 of 6 and make it 7 out of 7. A very critical free throw on the way would make it a 4-point game. Coach Pleasant calling his team over as Parker knocks down the second. And that'll be a timeout called by the Knights. 50.4 seconds to go. Warriors by 4, thanks in part to Brett White and now Brody Parker. We will step aside here quickly and come back for the final 50 seconds of overtime on the Rochester Christian Sports Network.
The value of champions character across all institutions is a message that we can all get behind.
The purpose behind Champions of Character is to have that student-athlete experience be one of growth.
Men's basketball on campus, we make sure that we give back with a smile and with a purpose.
Our goal as coaches is for our players to leave being better men, better husbands, better fathers, and better members in their community.
NAIA is Champions of Character.
Warriors lead at 79-75. It'll be Marian basketball out of the timeout with 51 seconds left. Want to give a quick shout out to NAIA Hoops Report on X for their coverage of our basketball game here tonight. Etchison for 3, book it. Etchison has come alive. He's got 20, and none bigger than that 3 right there. And now a steal and a lay-in is good by Aiden Franks. 25 seconds to go. The shot clock is off. Marian leads by 1. The Warriors, though, can win it here. Walters for 2. Yes, sir! Final 10 seconds. Etchison has the ball for 3. Rattles off, rebound tapped out, and we're going the other direction. 5.2 seconds to go. The Warriors lead by a single point. A timeout has been called somewhere on the floor. and we will take the timeout with them. The Warriors by 1 with 5 seconds remaining. We will come back with that final 5 seconds in just a moment.
The value of champions character across all institutions is a message that we can all get behind.
The purpose behind Champions of Character is to have that student-athlete experience be one of growth.
Men's basketball on campus, we make sure that we give back with a smile and with a purpose.
Our goal as coaches is for our players to leave being better men, better husbands, better fathers, and better members in their community.
NAIA is Champions of Character.
Gunnar Walters knocked down the 2 to give the Warriors the 1-point edge. And that's now back-to-back games that the Warriors have come up with a big play in the closing moments of a basketball game. Last Saturday, it was Tamias Williams with the block with 8 seconds to go in regulation in what was a 2-point game at that time. Here tonight, it's Gunnar Walters with the elbow jumper that put the team up 81-80. There's still 5.2 seconds to go. There was a timeout called on the floor. We're still making our way out of that timeout. The call before the timeout was that it was Warriors basketball. It looks like that call has since been changed as Aiden Franks stands underneath the hoop ready to inbound. 5.2 seconds to go. Here we go. Inbound comes to Etchison, working on Brody Parker. He'll lean back and it won't go. The follow-up doesn't go either, and the time runs out. The Warriors will survive. 81-80 is your final score in overtime. Let's get to some final stats in this basketball game before we sign off. Brody Parker finishes with a game-high 27 with 7 rebounds and 5 assists, but possibly the play of the game as he was defending on the ball against Gus Etchison for the final 5 seconds of this one, as Etchison could not hit the potential game winner, and the Warriors hang on. Etchison on the other side finishes with 20 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists in the setback. Brett White for Rochester Christian also finished with 20 points, also 6 rebounds and 2 assists. Gunnar Walters with that 2 at the end to give the Warriors the 1-point lead finishes in double figures with 10 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists. Those 7 assists once again leads the team for what would be the 5th time this season if you include the exhibition opener against Oakland, and the Warriors will hang on in a thriller to move to 4-0 on the young season. So for our SID, Hussein Murray, my name is Stephen MacDonald saying so long from Garth Pleasant Arena, where your final score one final time is the Warriors 81 and the Knights of Marian 80 in overtime. This has been a presentation of the RC Sports Network. Good night, everyone.